Everything you have been told about the 7 Hermetic laws comes from a single book. It was published in 1908 in Chicago from an office inside the Masonic Temple building. The book does not name its authors, it calls them the 3 initiates, no signed manuscript has ever surfaced. And for over a century, nearly every teacher who has spoken to you about mental law has been quoting that book, most of them without knowing it. So if the list is that recent, where does the idea actually come from, and how? Did something written in 1908 come to be called ancient? Start with what the law says before anyone tells you what to do with it. The first principle reads, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." Read that again slowly, because the important word is not mind. The important word is. It does not say the universe responds to mind. It does not say the universe can be influenced by mind. It says the universe is mental, that the stuff, everything is made of the chair, the street, the distance between 2 people, it is of the same nature as thought. Think of how a dream works. Inside a dream there is a room, there is weather. There are other people who surprise you, argue with you, walk away from you, and every one of those things is made of the same single substance, the mind of the one who is dreaming, not influenced by it, made of it. There is a weaker version of this that people sometimes retreat to, and it is worth ruling out. The weaker version says your experience of the world is mental, that you never touch the street directly, only your image of it. That much is ordinary. Any philosopher of the last 400 years would grant it. The Hermetic claim is larger and less safe. It is not that your picture of the street is mental, it is that the street is. That is the claim. It is a claim about what things are. Nothing in it so far says anything at all about what you can do. And that gap between what a thing is and what you can do about it is exactly where the modern version went wrong. Somewhere in the last century, this principle stopped being read as a statement about substance and started being sold as a technique for outcomes. The universe is mental became your thoughts create your reality. Those 2 sentences sound close, they are not close at all. And the drift has a location, the same American movement that produced the 1908 book was already teaching that thought governs circumstance, health, money, the events of a life. Those authors were not reading ancient Egypt, they were writing a philosophy of their own moment in a country that badly wanted one, and they reached backward for a name that would carry weight. Hermes lent the authority, the content was contemporary. The first is about everything, the second is about you. The first describes the material of the world, the second promises you leverage over it. Discovering that the ocean is made of water does not make you its tide. This is why the teaching keeps failing people. You are handed a metaphysical description, a statement about the nature of things, and told to use it as an instrument. Then when the instrument does not work, you conclude that the failure is yours, that you did not believe hard enough or hold the image cleanly enough or want it with sufficient purity. The failure was never yours. You were given an ontology and told it was a method. Which brings us back to 1908. The 7 laws as a numbered list appear in that book. They are not found as a set of 7 anywhere in antiquity. The book is widely attributed to William Walker Atkinson, a Chicago lawyer who wrote and published occult titles under several names, though no signed copy has ever confirmed it. But here is the part that matters, and the part almost nobody separates properly. The list is modern, the idea is not. The claim that mind is the ground of reality, that everything proceeds from. Something like thought is genuinely ancient. It sits in a body of Greek texts that a Florentine scholar would translate in 1463, and that would go on to reshape how Europe imagined the soul. Those texts are called the Corpus Hermeticum, and what they actually say about mind is stranger and considerably less comfortable than anything the 1908 book put on its list, which raises a question the modern version never asks. If the universe is mental, whose mind is it? Hold that, because the answer is the difference between a philosophy that comforts you and one that rearranges you. The texts we are talking about are a collection of Greek writings, most of them composed somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd centuries. They take the form of dialogues. A teacher instructs a student, and the instruction is almost always about the same thing, what the mind is and where the human being sits inside it. For 1,000 years, Western Europe had no access to them. Then in 1463, a Florentine scholar named Marsilio Ficino received a manuscript and a request from Cosimo de' Medici. The story that comes down to us is that Cosimo, old and close to death, told Ficino to set Plato aside and translate these first. Whether or not that detail is exact, the effect is not in question. The translation moved through Europe. It was printed in Treviso in 1471 without Ficino's consent, and it changed how a continent imagined the soul. For 150 years, these texts were believed to be Egyptian and older than Moses. Then in 1614, a scholar named Isaac Casaubon read them properly. He did not argue about doctrine, he counted words, and he found terms logos, demiurge, Ogdoad, and one more we are about to spend the rest of this video on. That belonged to Hellenistic Greek and could not have been written by an Egyptian priest 1,000 years before. The texts were not from the age of Moses, they were written after Christ. That word, the fourth one, the one Casaubon used to date them, is nous. And it is worth knowing what the first of these texts actually describes, because almost nobody who quotes the 7 laws has read it. It is called the Poimandres. A man is somewhere between waking and sleep when a presence arrives and asks him what he wants to know. It gives its name, the nous, of the sovereignty, mind itself introducing itself. What follows is a vision of the world's making, and then the strangest passage in the collection. The first human, luminous and free, descends through the spheres and looks down at nature and sees his own reflection in the water below. He falls in love with it, and nature, seeing him love it, takes hold of him. That is the fall in this system, not a sin, not disobedience, attention captured by its own reflection in captivity following from the capture. Hold on to that image. We are going to come back to it when we get to the practice, because it stops being a myth at that point and becomes a description of a Tuesday afternoon. But here the ancient text says something the modern version quietly removed. Nous is usually translated as mind. That translation is what caused all the trouble, because in English, mind means the thing that chatters at you all day. Your opinions, your planning, your worry at 3 in the morning. That is not what the word points to. Nous is closer to the saying itself. Not the thoughts, the awareness, the thoughts are appearing in, the thing that is already on before you decide to think about anything. Here is the test. Notice a thought, now notice the noticing. Whatever just did that second thing, that is nearer to what the texts mean. And the dialogues are precise about the human position. The student does not own. Nous, the student, is described as partaking of it, being admitted to it. Something granted, not something possessed. Which is a very different arrangement from the one you were sold. And it explains something you may never have noticed. Read the Hermetic material end to end, and you will find no promise of a house. No promise of a car or a salary or a parking space near the entrance. Not because those authors were modest, because their claim does not produce that kind of promise, and understanding why is the whole thing. Take it slowly, because it is simple and almost everyone slides past it. Your body is made of matter, that is not in dispute. Does it follow that you can command matter, that you can tell iron to bend or a stone to rise? It does not. Being made of a thing gives you no authority over that thing. A wave is made of water. The wave does not run the sea. The law of mentalism is a statement of the first kind. It says what the world is made of. The modern reading treats it as a statement of the second kind, that because reality is mental and you have a mind, reality answers to you. The move from one to the other is not an inference. Nothing carries you across. It is a leap made silently and then sold as ancient wisdom. Try the same shape on anything else and it collapses immediately. Language is made of meaning. Does it follow that you can decide what a word means alone and have the world comply? Music is made of sound and you are full of sound. That has never once made anyone a composer. Being of the same substance as a thing is the beginning of a relationship with it. It is not a license to command it. Every serious tradition that ever held this view also held that the relationship takes decades. Once you see the gap, you cannot unsee it, and you also stop being able to blame yourself for a technique that was never in the text. And this is where the distinction stops being academic. It changes what you can actually do. Whose mind is it? The texts answer without hedging, not yours. You are not the dreamer. You are something occurring within the dream that has been given the strange privilege of noticing that it is one. That cuts in both directions, and the texts do not soften either edge. It elevates whatever you are not a foreign object in an indifferent universe. You are made of the same substance as the whole, and you participate in it directly. And it limits, you do not issue orders. A character inside a dream does not rewrite the dream by wanting the furniture rearranged. The modern version kept the first half and deleted the second. It kept you are one with everything and dropped, and therefore you are not in charge of it. Which leaves the obvious objection standing. If everything is mind, why does the world push back so hard? The wall does not care what you believe about the wall. Illness arrives without consultation. People leave. The bill is due on the same day whether or not you. I have made peace with it. The Hermetic answer is consistent, and it is the one already on the table. You are a part, not the whole. The resistance you meet is not proof that reality is not mental. It is proof that the mind in question is not the one you are running. Now, and this matters more than any argument in this video, notice what that answer cannot do. It cannot be tested. There is no experiment that separates a mental universe from a material one, because any result you get is made of whatever the universe is made of. The claim explains everything, which is another way of saying it forbids nothing. So hold it the way the texts themselves hold it, not as a fact you have proven, as a frame you are trying on to see what it makes visible. Anyone who tells you it has been confirmed by physics is selling something. And notice that the dialogues are more honest about this than their modern inheritors. They do not argue the student into agreement. They instruct him to practice and then to look. The knowledge is presented as something that arrives through a change in the one who is looking, not through a proof that would work on anybody. That is either an honest description of how some knowledge works or a very convenient way to avoid being checked. The texts do not resolve which. Neither will this video. What I can tell you is that the practice underneath it produces an effect you can measure whatever you decide about the metaphysics, and that is the part worth your time. Which brings us to the part that is actually practice, and it is not what you would guess. If the operating substance of reality is awareness, then the question is not what you want, it is what you can hold. And here the Hermetic tradition converges with almost every serious contemplative system that came after it, which is itself worth noticing. The trainable faculty without tension, not desire. Desire needs no training. You already do it constantly, and it has not delivered. Attention is different. Attention is the one thing in the entire arrangement that has been handed to you to govern, and almost nobody governs it. Watch what yours does for 60 seconds and you will see the problem. It goes where it is pulled. Every notification, every worry, every half-finished thought takes it, and you get it back only to lose it again. If reality is made of awareness, then a person who cannot hold awareness for 30 seconds is not going to author anything, not because the universe refused them, because they never had hold of the instrument. That is the actual teaching, and it is far less flattering than the version that told you to visualize a car. So here is the exercise. It is unglamorous and it works. Take one object, a candle flame, a mark on the wall, the sensation of air at your nostrils. One, not a sequence, not a visualization, not an affirmation. Set 3 minutes, not 23. Rest attention on the object, and each time you notice it has left, and it will leave, constantly make a small mental mark and bring it back. That is the entire practice. Notice the departure, return. Now the part that separates this from every version you have tried before. Count the departures, actually count them. 15 in 3 minutes on your first day is a normal number, and it is not a failure, it is a measurement. Because that is your baseline, and in 3 weeks, if the number has gone from 15 to 9, something real has changed in the only instrument you were ever given. That is progress you can point to in a domain that is usually all atmosphere and no evidence. 3 minutes daily beats 40 minutes on Sunday. The faculty responds to frequency, not to heroics. And if sitting still is not available to you, and for some people it genuinely is not, the same exercise runs while walking. One object, the sensation of the foot meeting the ground, same 3 minutes, same count, same return. Now go back to the man leaning over the water. He was not punished for looking. He was captured by a reflection held by something that was in the end only an image of himself. That is what your attention does every time it leaves the candle. It does not wander into the world. It gets caught in a picture of your own concerns and stays there, sometimes for hours. The text has been describing your Tuesday afternoon for 1800 years. And here is where nearly everyone quits, so know it in advance. People stop because they measure the wrong thing. They expect the mind to go quiet, and it does not go quiet, so they conclude they are bad at this. Stillness is not the metric, noticing is the metric. A session where you caught yourself 40 times is a better session than one where you drifted pleasantly for 3 minutes and caught nothing. The catching is the repetition. The catching is the whole exercise. There is a second way people lose this, and it is quieter. They get good at it. They feel the difference, and they begin waiting for something to happen. Sign, a shift, some confirmation from the universe that they are on the right track. Nothing arrives, and the waiting itself becomes the distraction. You are back. The water, looking at a reflection of your own progress. The instruction is the same as it was on day one. Notice, return, there is no graduation, and the absence of a graduation is not evidence of failure. Which is the answer to the question this video started with. The law of mentalism is not a mechanism for acquiring things. It never was that. Reading required removing the half of the teaching that said you are a part and not the whole, and it has cost an enormous number of people an enormous amount of self-blame. What the tradition actually offers is smaller and heavier. If reality is made of awareness, then awareness is the only place your work can happen, and the practice is not learning to want more precisely. Hermeticism does not teach you to ask better. It teaches you to hold. Everything else in this system follows from that one correction. Because the next question is the obvious one. If attention is the instrument and attention will not stay, why not? What is it doing when it slides away from the candle for the 40th time? The Hermeticists had an answer, and it is the second principle. They called it the law of vibration, and it describes why nothing in you or anywhere else will hold a single state. That is the next one in this series, and it is the one that makes this one usable. Before you go of the 7 laws, which one has always sounded most like an empty phrase to you, put it in the comments. I read them and they decide what gets made. And sit with this one before you leave. The universe may be mental, but the only part of it you were given to govern is the part that keeps slipping away from you.